Rajshahi hits in first match of the day. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Shongit Ahmed. Welcoming you all to News at 10 on BTV, BTV World and BTV Chattogram Centre. Those were the headlines, and now on to the rest of the details. ECNEC has approved a project to widen the road from Ponchaboti to Mukhtarpur Bridge and also to construct a double-deck road for establishing easier and cost-efficient road communication of Munshiganj with Dhaka and Narayanganj. The approval came from ECNEC meeting held with its chairperson Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in the chair today. The Premier joined the meeting virtually from her official Ganabhavan residence. Cabinet members, Planning Commission members and secretaries concerned joined the meeting from the NEC conference room in the city's Sher-e-Bangla Nagar area. ECNEC approved 4 projects today involving an overall estimated cost of 3,903.61 crore taka. Of the approved 4 projects, 2 are new while 2 others are revised projects. Estimated cost of widening of road from Ponchaboti to Mukhtarpur Bridge and construction of a double-deck road project is 2,227.77 crore taka. The other 3 approved projects are Agriculture Information Service Modernization and Digital Agriculture Information and Communication Strengthening Project, first revised, Chorkhali, Tushkhali, Motbaria, Pathorghata Road Development and Widening Project, first revised, and improving the civic amenities in Mymensingh City Corporation, including road development and drainage network project. After the meeting, Planning Commission member Dr. Shamsul Alam briefed the reporters. He said at the meeting, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina asked all concerned to implement development projects within the stipulated time frame, putting an end to the trend of revising projects and cost overrun. Dr. Shamsul Alam said Prime Minister also directed authorities concerned to use the term double-deck road instead of elevated expressway in the title of widening of road from Ponchaboti to Mukhtarpur Bridge project. An international summit titled Thimphu Ambition Summit Momentum for 1.5 degree centigrade world will be held virtually tomorrow to encourage global climate action at the time it is most needed. The Royal Government of Bhutan, the chair of the least developed countries group in the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, is hosting the summit, scheduled to begin tomorrow evening. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will address a high-level panel discussion in the virtual summit as a keynote speaker, while Bhutanese Prime Minister Dr. Lothai Tshering will make the opening remarks in the summit. The panel discussion will be held on raising ambition, Paris-compatible green economic recovery, and mobilizing support for the most vulnerable countries. Awami League General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister Waidul Qadir has said no communal group will be allowed to stand up in the country as Bangladesh became independent at a cost of blood of millions of martyrs. He made the remarks while briefing journalists at the Secretariat this morning. Waidul Qadir said the government is investigating the sculpture issue, whether there is any national and foreign political conspiracy. He said all the ill strategies will be faced politically along with the people, so everyone must be united. About BNP Secretary General's comment that the government has turned the Election Commission into a party organization, the Awami League General Secretary said BNP is blaming the Election Commission for its failure, followed by rejection by the people.
দেশে অস্থিতিশীলতা তৈরি অপপ্রয়াস যারা করছে তাদের জাতীয় এবং জনস্বার্থে কঠোর হস্তে দমন করা হবে। এর পেছনে দেশি বিদেশি রাজনৈতিক ষড়যন্ত্র খতিয়ে দেখা হচ্ছে। এদেশের মুক্তিযুদ্ধের সপক্ষের শক্তি ঐক্য সুদৃঢ়। এই ঐক্যের মাধ্যমে আমরা জনগণকে সাথে নিয়ে রাজনৈতিকভাবে তাদের অপকৌশল মোকাবেলা করবে ইনশাল্লাহ। কোনো সাম্প্রদায়িক গোষ্ঠীকে লাখো শহীদের রক্তে গড়া এদেশে মীমাংসিত বিষয়ে বিরোধিতা করার সুযোগ দেওয়া হবে না। সরকার নির্বাচন কমিশনকে দলীয় সংস্থা পরিণত করেছে বলে বিএনপি মহাসচিব যে মন্তব্য করেছেন তা ভিত্তিহীন এবং উদ্দেশ্যমূলক। নির্বাচন এবং উপনির্বাচনে অংশ নিয়ে ভোটের মাঠে না থাকা, ভোটের দিন কেন্দ্রে না যাওয়া, পোলিং এজেন্ট না দেওয়ার মধ্য দিয়ে তারাই নির্বাচন ব্যবস্থা ও নির্বাচন কমিশনকে প্রশ্নবিদ্ধ করার অপপ্রয়াস চালিয়ে আসছে। তাদের এই অপপ্রয়াস জনগণের কাছে আজ পরিষ্কার। আসলে বিএনপি অগণতান্ত্রিক উপায়ে ক্ষমতা যাওয়ার উগ্র বাসনা নিমজ্জিত, তাই তারা জন আস্থা দিয়ে চোরাগুলি করছে।
Earlier in the day, Turkish envoy in Dhaka Mustafa Usman Turan made a courtesy call on Ubaid al-Qadir at the Secretariat. United Arab Emirates head of mission in Bangladesh, Abdullah Ali Al-Maudi, said there are 100-year-old sculptures in the UAE, and sculptures are part of a country's history and heritage. The UAE mission chief told this to journalists after making a courtesy call on Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood at the Secretariat today.
We are looking forward to expand our relationship in other many fields, inshallah, in the future. Minister, today for inviting us over here to discuss some of the issues that between both countries. We have, alhamdulillah, a good relationship with Bangladeshi people. There's many sculpture in UAE also, because 100 years ago, and part of history and part of culture.
Speaking on the occasion, the Information Minister expressed firm willingness to further advance the existing friendly relations between Bangladesh and UAE.
মাননীয় অ্যাম্বাসেডরের সাথে আমাদের একটি সৌজন্য সাক্ষাৎ ছিল। আমরা আজকের সাক্ষাৎকারে দুই দেশের যে গভীর বন্ধুত্বপূর্ণ সম্পর্ক সেটি নিয়ে আলোচনা করেছি। আপনারা হয়তো জানেন যে একই বছর 1971 সালে ইউএই এবং বাংলাদেশ স্বাধীনতা অর্জন করেছে, এবং আমাদের জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমানের সাথে ইউএই এর প্রতিষ্ঠাতা শেখ জায়েদ বিন সুলতান আল নাহিয়ান, তার সাথে অত্যন্ত গভীর সম্পর্ক ছিল, এবং আমাদের দেশ গঠনের ক্ষেত্রেও ইউএইর শুরু থেকে অনেক ভূমিকা ছিল, এবং ইউএইতে আমাদের লক্ষ লক্ষ কর্মী সেখানে কাজ করছে। ইউএইর পক্ষ থেকে আমি তাদেরকে অনুরোধ জানিয়েছি যে বাংলাদেশে বিনিয়োগ করার জন্য। ইতিমধ্যেই মিরসরাই যে বঙ্গবন্ধু শিল্পনগর হচ্ছে, সেই শিল্পনগরে ইউএইর পক্ষ থেকে সেখানে ইউএইর জন্য তারা জায়গা চেয়েছে। 100 একরের বেশি জায়গা দেওয়া হয়েছিল বেশ আগে। সেখানে একটি ম্যাটারনিটি হসপিটাল এবং নার্সিং ট্রেনিং সেন্টার সহ কি করা যায় সেগুলো নিয়ে আমরা আলোচনা করেছি, এবং ইউএই বাংলাদেশে ফুড প্রসেসিং ইন্ডাস্ট্রি করতে আগ্রহী, এগুলো নিয়ে আমরা বিস্তারিত আলোচনা করেছি।
The Information Minister told the journalists that during the meeting, discussions were held on setting up maternity hospital, nursing training centre and other installations on the 100-acre land at Rangunia in Chattogram, allotted in honour of the UAE's founding father Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. Parliament member Professor Dr. Abu Reza Mohammad Nizamuddin Nadvi and Information Secretary Khaja Mia were present during the meeting. Chairman of Bangladesh United Islami Party Maulana Muhammad Ismail Hussain has said if there is any misunderstanding with the decision of the government and Alim community, it can be solved through discussion. He said this at a press briefing at the National Press Club in Dhaka today. Maulana Muhammad Ismail Hussain said a certain quarter is trying to disrupt the peace and discipline in the society by using madrasa and Qaumi students and to create a distance between the government and the people. He called upon the Alim community to remain alert so that no vested quarter can hatch conspiracy against the government. Secretary General of Bangladesh United Islami Party, Maulana Mufti Shahadat Hussain, and other leaders of the organization were present. A Kushtia court today placed 2 madrasa students on a 5-day remand each and 2 teachers on 4-day remand in a case filed over the vandalizing of the sculpture of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, in Kushtia. The Court of Senior Judicial Magistrate Inamul Haq passed the order after police produced them before the court. The police sought a 10-day remand for the students and 7-day remand for the teachers in the case. Different sociocultural and political and professional organizations brought out processions and staged human change across the country today in protest of vandalism on the sculpture of Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Jatiyo Samajtantrik Dol Jashod arranged a protest rally at Bangabandhu Avenue in the capital, in which Jashod General Secretary Shirin Akhtar MP and central leaders demanded punishment of the vandalizers of the sculpture of the Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Jatiyo Shromik League brought out a procession and staged rally at 32 Dhanmondi in Dhaka, led by President of the organization Nur Kutub Alam Mannan and Executive President Alauddin. Bangladesh Tati League staged a human chain in front of National Press Club in Dhaka today. President of the organization, Engineer Mohammad Shaukat Ali, and General Secretary Khagendra Chandra Devnath and other leaders spoke. Gopalganj Sangbadik Shomiti in Dhaka staged a human change in protest of vandalism of the sculpture of Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, in which Secretary General of Bangladesh Federal Sangbadik Union, Shaban Mahmood, and President of the Shomiti, Mamun Sheikh, addressed among others. Joy Bangla Sanskritik Oikko Jot and Awami Shilpi Goshti held a human chain in front of the National Press Club in protest of vandalism of the sculpture of the Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. President of the organization, Salauddin Bacha, leaders of City Awami League and activists of Joy Bangla Sanskritik Oikko Jot spoke among others. Bangladesh Shorak Poribohon Shromik League organized a rally in protest of vandalism on the sculpture of Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, in Kushtia. Presided over by the President of the organization, Hanif Khokon, Awami League Labour and Manpower Affairs Secretary Habibur Rahman Shiraj and several leaders also addressed the rally. Information Secretary Khaja Mia has urged BTV officials to produce and air news and programs befitting public expectations. He made the call at a views exchange meeting while on a visit to Bangladesh Television at Rampura today. The Information Secretary stressed on surveying public opinion over BTV programs and asked officials to air contents reflecting hassles and problems faced by the commoners in day-to-day life. Bangladesh Television Director General S.M. Harunur Rashid and high BTV officials were present at the meeting. Later, Information Secretary Khaja Mia went around BTV Museum, control room, studios and the newsroom.
বাংলাদেশের একমাত্র প্রবাল সমৃদ্ধ দ্বীপ সেন্ট মার্টিন। এর সৌন্দর্যের মূলে রয়েছে সমৃদ্ধ জীববৈচিত্র্য। অতিরিক্ত পর্যটকের আগমন, তাদের দায়িত্বহীন আচরণ এবং অবৈধ স্থাপনা নির্মাণের কারণে এই দ্বীপের বিরল প্রতিবেশ এবং জীববৈচিত্র্য আজ ধ্বংসের মুখোমুখি। জীববৈচিত্র্য সংরক্ষণে সরকার এই দ্বীপকে প্রতিবেশগত সংকটাপন্ন এলাকা ঘোষণা করে ব্যবস্থাপনামূলক কার্যক্রম বাস্তবায়ন করছে। সেন্ট মার্টিন দ্বীপকে বাঁচিয়ে রাখতে হলে দ্বীপের বাসিন্দা এবং পর্যটক সহ সংশ্লিষ্ট সকলের সক্রিয় অংশগ্রহণ প্রয়োজন। আসুন আমরা বাংলাদেশের একমাত্র প্রবাল সমৃদ্ধ দ্বীপ সেন্ট মার্টিনকে সংরক্ষণ করি, বর্তমান ও আগামী প্রজন্মের জন্য টেকসই প্রতিবেশ গড়ি।
COVID-19 patients died in the country, increasing the death toll from the pandemic to 6,906. The recovery count rose to 4,01,194 after another 2,571 recovered during the period. A press release of the Directorate General of Health Services published this today. It said the tally of the infection surged to 4,81,945, with 2,202 new cases being confirmed. And now on to international news. A UK grandmother has become the first person in the world to be given Pfizer COVID-19 jab as part of a mass vaccination program. Margaret Keenan, who turns 91 next week, said it was the best early birthday present. She was given the injection at 6:31 GMT, the first of 800,000 doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine that will be dispensed in the coming weeks. Up to 4 million more are expected by the end of the month. Hubs in the UK will vaccinate over 80s and some health and care staff. The program aims to protect the most vulnerable and return life to normal. Health Secretary Matt Hancock, who has dubbed Tuesday V-Day, said this simple act of vaccination was a tribute to scientific endeavour and human ingenuity and to the hard work of so many people. Prime Minister Boris Johnson, on a visit to a London hospital to see some of the first people getting the jab, said getting vaccinated was good for you and good for the whole country. Meanwhile, COVID-19 global death toll crosses 15,53,000 as more than 8,110 people died yesterday globally. More than 6,80,59,000 are infected globally and more than 4,71,56,000 people have recovered so far. The US, the current 1,798 deaths. The country reported 1,539 deaths yesterday. A country-wide strike by farmers in India has begun amid a standoff with the government over new farm laws. Today's strike follows 3 rounds of inconclusive talks between the two sides over laws that farmers say are against their interests. Another round of talks is due on Wednesday. The government, Bharatiya Janata Party BJP, has said the reforms which allow private players a greater role in the farming sector will not hurt farmers' incomes. And now news on sports. Fortune Borishal beat Minister Group Rajshahi by 8 wickets in the Bangabandhu T20 Cup cricket tournament in Mirpur Sherebangla National Stadium today. Minister Group Rajshahi batted first and scored 220 runs for 7 in their stipulated 20 overs. Najmul Hussain Shanto scored 109 runs while Anisul Islam Imon scored 69 runs for Rajshahi. In reply, Fortune Borishal reached their victory target of 221 runs for 2 in 18 overs, 1 ball. Parvez Hussain Imon scored 100 runs from 42 balls. Parvez Imon made a record of fastest ton by a Bangladeshi cricketer in T20 cricket. And before we end tonight's bulletin, another look at the headlines. ECNEC approves 4 projects including Ponchaboti to Muktarpur Bridge Road widening and construction of a double-deck road. No communal force would be allowed to strengthen footings in country earned through blood of millions of martyrs, warns Obaidul Qadir. Sculptures are part of history and heritage of any country, says United Arab Emirates mission head after meeting with Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood. 2 madrasa students and 2 teachers placed on remand for vandalizing Bangabandhu sculpture in Kushtia. Demonstrations and human chains held in the capital protesting Bangabandhu sculpture vandalizing. Speedy exemplary punishment demanded for the involved. UK begins corona vaccination. Global death toll from corona crosses 15,54,000. And in Bangabandhu T20 Cup cricket tournament, Fortune Borishal beat Minister Group Rajshahi by 8 wickets in first match of the day. And that's all from us for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and our next news is at 11:30. Do join us again. Until